button. Dr. Miller,
Can't
I
wait.
am here. I am here today to fall on my sword.
I've been waiting patiently.
Well, here's the deal. You all know, or at least I'll recap, that I love Harvard Business Review. I am a subscriber. We still haven't received any merch for plugging them as much as we do. I think a t-shirt, a hoodie, something. I didn't even get a discount on my subscription this year. I mean, come on. But I am a repeat offender as a subscriber to Harvard Business Review. I get the hard copy plus, and in my email box the other day, there was an email that I wanted. I feel ethically and morally required to share with you and our audience regarding the great jacket debate. Okay. So the new rules of executive presence, they at Harvard Business Review have done some discovery from 2022 to 2023, and now we're going into 2024. Here's what they say you've got to have as an executive now. You've got to have gravitas traits. You got to be confident. You got to be decisive, inclusive, respect for others, vision, integrity, right? I'm getting to it. Her face here right now, people. If you can go to our YouTube channel, you need to see the gloating. The gloating that's happening on the other side.
I'm patiently listening. I mean,
do you hear the sarcasm dripping from
required,
that statement?
compelled? I mean, I think to me, it's just like, what is coming? It's just.
Oh, she clutched imaginary pearls as she said that. Just so you know, she's clutched her pearls, ladies and gentlemen.
I think what I'm about to hear is I'm ahead of my time.
I think that's
visionary of sorts.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes. The second part of this executive presence that we need to be considering is communication traits. In this day and age, you've got to have superior speaking skills. You got to have a command of Zoom. We're still going to go back to the camera on, camera off thing, but you've got to have a command of Zoom, listening to learn, ability to read the audience, authenticity. Now, this is the segue, people, where I have to fall on the sword. I'm getting it ready. And use of body language. And then next, here it comes, everyone. She's not clutching her pearls, but she did move closer to the screen to listen even more intently. Appearance traits. What? So in executive presence, looking polished, authenticity. This is the one where she's going to make me come back to. This is the one. Fitness and vigor. That's important for your appearance. The new normal style of dress. That's the other one that she wants me to come back to, and I will. Curation of an online image, and then a willingness to show up in person. So not just the hybrid thing, peeps. But so let's talk about that authenticity and the new normal. Here's where I'm going.
Let's talk.
Let's talk about that. Authenticity. Talking about not having to code switch going into a meeting, right? So, wearing and indicating who you are, what your ethnic indicators are, and being able to wear that. If you are a person who wears their hair braided, then not feeling as though you'd have to take your braids out to go into a meeting, showing up as who you are, authentically representing your culture, your ethnicity, your beliefs, all of those things, right? That was one, but here it comes, the new normal. So authenticity, and then the new normal for being in a professional setting. Figuring out, this is a quote, figuring out what to wear in today's hybrid workplace is challenging for both seasoned and emerging leaders. Polished reigns. That's the most important thing. Being polished, which I feel like supports both of us, but no, but, and I'll go and feeling confident, dressing for who you are in your confidence, making sure you feel comfortable. So if that means pairing a black bomber jacket or a track jacket with a dark pair of jeans and a t-shirt and high-end sneakers, even for interviews and presentations, even for interviews and presentations. Presentations. They're not saying that, well, it is kind of a jacket, but they're saying be confident with who you are, be comfortable in your clothing, and that interweaving of your work and personal life should be how you show up and adapt your attire for different meetings. Not that far off
Oh
from
my God.
saying that you still wear a jacket. I mean, it's a motorcycle jacket, but it's a
You're
jacket.
unwell.
It's
That was one example that they gave, but that is not that. Oh,
I am. I am unwell. It's true. Now, you know what? It's just ingrained in who I am, and I've preached it for so long. So, yes, I have to evaluate. I think the thing that I liked the best about it was I've always heard you say, and I think this is so person-centered, that it's that confidence, right? Wearing what makes you feel confident to stand up in front of a group of people and present or speak or whatever that may be. So I think that was what resonated. I heard your voice as I was reading this article, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what she's been saying. It's confidence. It's feeling your style.
okay. Now I'm not gonna, I don't want to get on too high of a horse. I don't. The air gets different up
Oh,
there
please. As she
because
gets out her ladder, people.
no,
She just got
no,
out her
because
ladder.
I know what's gonna happen. It's just like football. I don't ever talk when we're doing well because when we do poorly. So I'm just gonna let this ebb and flow. My wisdom
Hmm.
says just let this ride. But I do
Hmm.
appreciate your recognition of the other side because I do think you have two data points now. A,
Yes.
someone tried to tell you what to wear that didn't feel good. And
No,
B, you are a consumer of the Harvard Business Review and they are showing you data that
they are putting it out
says,
there. They are putting it out there. I think we're going to have to revisit some more of this article in the future because I really did also love that authenticity piece,
yes,
that and that applying it to who you are authentically and how you show up at work. You shouldn't feel like you have to change your hair or cover a tattoo or take out a piercing or the hijab that you wear, that you should have to, that is not something that's welcome. All of those things should be welcomed because you're hired for what you bring to the table and who you are. So yeah, I think we
absolutely.
got to revisit this. But yes, Miller, Dr. Jessica B. Miller, I heard your voice reading this. The switch in my head from my inner voice reading it to your voice coming through loud and clear was deafening. Deafening.
Hey, I'm hearing we're changing the world. If we can get through your blockade on this whole jacket business, I think send us into the UN for world peace because you're pretty committed to that.
You know what? That's a mic drop right there, Miller. But I'm sure we'll be revisiting this at some point, but
Yeah,
that's a
because if you
mic
find any
drop.
data points to the contrary, you'll be like, well, here's another one.
Possibly, but I'm reevaluating. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a good confidence is everything. We want
Yes.
people to feel confident and comfortable. Comfort is not overrated.
Mixed messages because, yeah, okay. All right. Well, with that said, we'll talk soon.
Mic drop.